When Texoma athletes graduate and leave for college, many times I don't even see them again. One of the highlights of my profession, though, is being able to watch them compete in high school and then again in college. For those rare few that I do get to see, it's just a special joy. Sierra Anderson was a star at Old High and later at Angelo State. And when I would arrive at her games that were played at Midwestern State, she always sought me out to say hi. Not all athletes do that, but that was just Sierra.
Soccer was her first sport that she tried to play. The first team that she was on was called Blaze. She was about 9 when she started playing soccer, and then when she got to junior high, she decided to play every sport that they would allow her to play. And then once she got to high school, she started out her freshman year trying to play every sport again, but of course they run into each other, so she chose to just stick with soccer.
Sierra Anderson didn't just choose to play soccer, she chose to excel in soccer. Playing for Wichita Falls High School, she earned Newcomer of the Year honors as a sophomore. Her junior and senior years, she was the District Offensive Player of the Year. It was while playing at Old High, Sierra made another decision.
She wanted to continue to play soccer, but our finances wasn't there. So her biggest thing was to strive to get a scholarship, and that's what she was determined to do, get the scholarship. When she signed, I was overwhelmed and grateful. So she ended up with a 4-year scholarship.
A 4-year scholarship to Angelo State. For Sierra, some things wouldn't change. Whether it was a 10-minute drive across town or a 3.5-hour drive to St. Angelo, Mom would be in the stands.
Even in our high school games, she wanted me to be there, but she didn't want me to embarrass her. In the beginning, I would sit down low and I would scream and scream and scream. And so after high school, she said, "Mom, you don't have to do that anymore. I know you're there, but you don't have to do all that screaming. Please don't do all that screaming in college." But I continued it. It got to the point where I would sit up higher, so I felt like she couldn't hear me, but I'd still be screaming, and she's like, "Mom, I still can hear you. I can still hear you." And I said, "How can you hear me over everybody else?" She said, "Mom, I know your voice." But I would always say, "That's my baby," or "Go, Sierra, go, 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 Sierra." I just wanted her to know how much I supported her, or how much we supported her as the family, you know, whoever was there. Definitely that I was super proud of her in everything that she accomplished, whether it was sports or just in life general, her goals, you know. I was just really proud of her.
With her mother's pride being heard by all in attendance, Sierra became one of the best players in program history at Angelo State. Her name appears in the Ram Bells record book 35 times. She twice led the Bells in scoring, once in assists. She holds the program record with 17 game-winning goals, and she is 4th in school history with 32 goals. But when Sierra walked off the ASU soccer field for the last time on November 15th of 2015, she wanted her time as a Ram Bell behind her.
She was very humble. She didn't want you to praise her outside of what she did. She didn't want you to bring it up. For example, she played on a semi-pro team in San Angelo, and the coach knew her from her playing on San Angelo, the Ram Bells. When he introduced her to his team, because she was helping him also coach his team. He had a junior high team, I think it was. He wanted to let them know how much she's accomplished. You know, she could be doing pro, but she chose to stay here and teach, and she's willing to help me coach y'all, you know, through soccer. And The day that he was going to do it, introduce her to the team, she pulled him over to the side and she said, "Don't mention anything that I've done. I'm just here to help you coach." And he said his bubble was just busted because he wanted them to understand how important, how much she's done, how much she's accomplished. And he didn't. He allowed her to just be Sierra.
Sierra strove to make those around her better, a gift she took into her first grade classroom as a teacher at Austin Elementary in San Angelo. In 2021, she would receive news which brought her back to Wichita Falls.
She was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2021. At the time that she was diagnosed, she was a stage 2. She started her treatments and she had went from a stage 2 to a stage 4 within 2 months.
And so began Sierra's treatment, as aggressive as she was on the soccer field.
Within 5 days of her first treatment, she started losing her hair. And she asked her dad to cut her hair for her, and he did. And of course, he's bald. And so they took a lot of pictures together showing their heads.
Fighting the toughest opponent of her life, Sierra often turned to the source of her strength.
Her father is very strong. She got that from him, as you can tell. She got that from him. I was the crybaby in the family. I cried for everybody, and she would say that. "Mom, I'm not gonna cry today. I'll let you cry." She told us all the time that she didn't know how to be sick. She didn't know how to show that she was hurting or something was wrong. She was just here.
Sierra's battle with cancer came to an end earlier this year on January 28th.
She was an amazing young lady that didn't want the credit, but deserved it. She deserved all the praise. Anything that honored her, she deserves it, but she didn't want it. She just wanted to be Sierra.
So, I really wish I could be handing this award to Sierra tonight. As we invite her mother, Tanya Hall, to the stage, I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart for sitting down with me and allowing me to share this story. It wasn't easy for her, because what was not told in this story is that 2 weeks prior to sitting down with me, Tanya Hall also lost her husband. Please help me welcome Tanya Hall to the stage to accept the Noel Johnson Courage Award on behalf of her daughter, Sierra Anderson.